We're so glad that you took time out of your busy schedule to be with us today, to share your story with us. Glenn Morning hails from Danbury, Connecticut. As the oldest of his mother's 5 children, Glenn was blessed with the opportunity to lead by example, where he could become the first of 2 generations to not only graduate from high school, but to complete a master's degree. In 2005, Glenn earned a full athletic scholarship to attend the University of Connecticut, where he would make the All Big East All-Conference Academic Honor Roll for 2 years in a row before graduating and attending grad school at the University of Bridgeport. In 2010, Glenn finished his master's degree in elementary education and was named the Student Teacher of the Year at the University of Bridgeport. Since then, Glenn has worked alongside the nationally renowned educator and contributor, Dr. Steve Perry, star of CNN special Black in America 2, and the host of TV One, Save Our Sons. As a 4th and 5th grade teacher at Capital Preparatory Magnet School in Hartford, Connecticut, Glenn managed to brilliantly inspire the lives of hundreds of students in his tenure as an educator. At the same time, he was the assistant varsity coach at Capital Prep, where the team posted an incredible record of 22-2, winning a state playoff appearance before stepping down from his role as a defensive back coach. For the past 3 years, Glenn has worked in Washington, D.C. as a 4th grade teacher. His greatest accomplishments are not those that occurred on the playing fields across America, but rather with his promise to his family that he has kept for the last several years, which was to become the motivation for his students that have come from similar circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome for Mr. Glenn Morning.
Good afternoon, Spartan families.
Good afternoon.
What's up, buddy? I lead with that word family for this very reason. At the beginning of any football season, there are kids that don't know each other. There are kids that are from different towns. There are kids that are from different socioeconomic backgrounds. There are parents that don't necessarily share the same things in common with other families. But at the same time, before it's all said and done, on those playing fields, those kids don't see each other other than brothers and sisters when they're playing with each other. And for that very simple reason, the word family is going to be something that's going to eventually stick around, and I can feel it with this organization that happens to be something that I wish my program, my upbringing had this sense of urgency. Before I continue, where are all the students in the audience? Can we make some noise, students? Oh, okay. So you only play football. Y'all don't go to school. So where are all my students? Make some noise, students. Okay, this is not a trick question. Where are all of my athletes in the building? Make some noise. Athletes, make some noise. It is not a coincidence that our youth may recognize themselves as something that is secondary prior to what should be primary in their lives. What we need to do right now is understand, I'm talking to the student athletes right now. What you need to understand is that the word student is going to always come before the word athlete. So with that being said, the choices that you are getting ready to make for the next 10, 15, hopefully even as a professional career for some of you, the choices that you're getting ready to make are going to separate you from kids that would consider themselves athletes first. There are certain things that we need to do before I continue, and that's the very first thing, and I heard it from Mr. Durrell. All of the parents, all of the uncles and aunts, anyone responsible for getting a child to and from somewhere, can you please raise your hand? Now, student athletes, look around at all of those people. Keep your hands up. Student athletes, look around at all of this support that you have. This is the part of your family. These people are the ones that are going to hold you accountable for being a student athlete first. So let's give it up for all of the parents and everyone else that contributes to the success of the kids. Okay, now that I have that out of the way, right? A little bit about myself. That bio is it's boring. There are some things in a bio that you want to add to seem like you're more important than you are, right? But I'm just a regular person. I'm a 4th grade teacher in Washington, D.C. I love working with kids. I love seeing kids grow and develop. But before I became one of the best teachers in the country, in my opinion, right? And my kids love me too. But anyway, before I became one of the best teachers in the country, I was a 7-year-old boy who had a dream of going to the NFL. No one around me had gone. No one that I even lived with believed that that was a possibility for me, that was even an option for me. But somewhere along the lines, God had put something in my heart that said, you can do what you see on TV. And for that very fact, the challenges of separating myself and not making the same mistakes that kids around me made, it started with that very first dream of mine. When kids would want to go next door and knock on someone's door and run down the street like they didn't do it, I was in the backyard shooting jump shots or doing push-ups trying to grow muscles like the bigger kids. When people said, oh, I'm not doing this homework. What? Mrs. Such and Such is crazy, I'm not doing this. I was the first person to say, I'm going to be the first person to hand this in correctly. Because in order to be different, you have to do different. In order to be better, you have to choose better. If you want to dream, if you want to be dedicated, responsible, enthusiastic, accountable, and eventually mature, right? That's what DREAM stands for. If you want to dream, there are things that you're going to have to do that are a little different. When I was that same 7, 8, 9-year-old boy, I didn't know who my dad was. I didn't have older brothers or cousins that said, hey man, come practice this, come do this. But somewhere along the line, somewhere along the way, I realized that if I wanted to be better and do better, I have to choose right from wrong. So I learned through the pain of not having a dad there for me, through the pain of watching my mother make poor decisions as she had multiple kids, the lessons that I learned that turned me into a dedicated person, I learned those lessons from seeing what not to do. But fortunately for most of the kids in here, just from the Spartan Select perspective, you've got your family right here. When you see people doing things and they're on time, and parents are holding you accountable, and they say, save the dancing for later, do the homework first. All of that is going to benefit you in the long run. So the majority of my conversation with you, because this is not a speech, this is a conversation, the majority of this for the next couple minutes is going to be hopefully instilling a little bit of what I call the opportunity to pay the price. Are y'all ready? If you're ready, say ready.
Ready.
I can't, because we drove into traffic after church today. I got a whole bunch of things to do. I'm not getting paid for this. I came up here because I love y'all. So if you're ready, say you're ready. Okay. So number one, to pay the price, we're going to start with P. Being persistent. Being persistent in what you do. It sounds like this. My teacher said I got the wrong answer, but you know what? I'm not going to quit and give up on this worksheet or this activity or this skill. I'm going to keep going and I'm going to persist. R. You have a huge responsibility, student athletes, because you can't run through the halls and act silly like the rest of the kids because you have a dream to pursue. What's the next letter in Price? Somebody over there with the blue jersey? Somebody in the blue jersey, right there with your hand up. What's the next? I said P-R. What's the next letter in the word price? Somebody can help them?
I.
Oh, and I heard it. So the I. Probably one of the most important attributes in this whole component of this, right? You have to pay the price. If you do not have integrity, if you do not tell the truth, was it you? Are you the one that did this? Yes, it was me, and I'm sorry. Okay, cool, no big deal. You have to be willing to look yourself in the mirror and say, I may have made a mistake, but I'm going to correct my mistake, and I'm going to be a better person. Because I told you earlier, if you are going to make it, if you're going to set yourself apart, you have to make different choices. The C is for commitment. And that's not just commitment to a sport or to an academic performance level, but it's being committed to your family. It's doing the right thing. It's making sure that you are holding yourself accountable so that when you finally get a chance to live out this dream, all of the stress along the way, you can look back and say, well, I stuck with it. I had commitment to it. And then finally, the last one in price, paying the price. Oh, hold on, before I get to E. Where I'm from, when you don't save up enough, when you don't have enough money or you don't have enough of something of value, you have to go get the bootleg version. My brothers down in Florida, they call it, you want to go get some Bobo J's instead of the real Jordans. You're going to get the fake ones with the little jump man, but he's shooting a layup. You get the fake ones. So parents, hear me out when I say, if we don't do things to pay the price for our kids, and if our kids don't understand to pay the price right now, we are going to be living a bootleg lifestyle when we're older. Paying the price, P-R-I-C-E, you have to do it with enthusiasm. And what I mean by that is simply this. There's going to be someone just as big as you, just as fast as you, just as smart as you. And if their attitude about life, hey, you need to run 2 more laps. I'm not even running these laps, man. All right, coach, I got you. I'm going to go run these 2 laps, and when I get back, I'm going to ask you if you need me to do anything else because I want to be the best. That's doing things with enthusiasm, not having a bad attitude, not making excuses for why you can't go the extra step. It's almost like extra credit in a classroom. Nobody wants to read 10 more pages. I want to go on Fortnite. I want to go play this. I want to go play that. But are those things going to get you towards your dream? I don't think so. Not if it's being a student athlete. So lastly, before I get ready to close, this is just a message for the students. So in life, as a kid, life might be moving like this right now. Right? First grade, second grade, maybe third grade, right? Well, by the time you get to middle school, where the middle schoolers at? Yeah, your life don't move like this no more, right? Because you got more than one teacher. You got more than one period. So things move a little faster for you in middle school, right? By the time you get to middle school, your life is moving. But that's not the speed that being an elite person in this world is going to require you to jump at. Parents, high school, college, right? Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
And let me say this is what happens with the kids that consider themselves athletes before the student piece. Man, I'm way better than him. I'm faster than him. Coach bugging. When the ropes start moving, they stop. But if you're willing to pay the price, when the speed of the rope picks up, you're gonna keep it moving. I can stop right now and say, I was trying to go that fast. So pick it back up. Y'all think I can do it? Yeah. It only costs $2.99, y'all. Chill. $2.99 at Target. I ain't gonna front, I'm out of breath a little bit. So, Northern Virginia Spartan family. Life is gonna move fast. My 9 youth, Orlando, where y'all at, Orlando? Before you know it, you're gonna be my age and you're gonna be talking about being an all-star at 9 years old with your best friends. And you can either tell them that that was the best moment of your whole life, or that that was just the beginning. So as I get ready to just kind of hang out and watch the rest of this unfold for this awesome program, I'm just so thankful that you guys provided me the opportunity to share a little bit about myself. My beautiful wife is up here filming me looking crazy, jumping rope somewhere. And I just pray that you pay the price now so that you can live the life that you want to later on. All right, thank you, everybody.